Mayor Rahm Emanuel of Chicago is going to shut down 53 public schools. And of those public schools, you will notice that the majority of them will impact African-American students the most. So although African-American students account for only about 40% of the Chicago public school population, 88% of the students affected by the closures are African-American.
Of course! You know why? They don't have any power, so Rahm can just steamroll them. Yeah, nicely done, Rahm. Mr. Progressive.
Nothing upsets me more than hearing about how public schools in this country are being absolutely destroyed. They're being defunded. Now, the reason why Chicago is doing this right now is because they have this, this budget gap, and they're trying to figure out how to shut the budget gap. And of course, the number one thing that you go to when you're having trouble with money is you destroy the opportunity of the future of our country. That's the best way to handle it.
Yeah, and listen, that budget cap is oftentimes total mythology. They'll say budget cap, and then afterwards they're like, oh, well, the schools actually don't contribute much to that gap. But anyway, so look, be careful what you hear from Rahm Emanuel's office about budget caps. Second of all, you wind up spending a tremendous amount of money on charter schools and privatized schools anyway, but the guys who run those schools also donate significantly to people like Rahm Emanuel, the Democratic Party in Illinois, Democratic Party overall, let alone the Republican Party, etc. So I don't believe a word of what Rahm Emanuel says.
So whenever these stories come up, I get really upset at the complacency of Americans, because a lot of people seem to be asleep at the wheel while our public education is being destroyed. But one person is fighting back, and he's a 9-year-old. His name is Asean Johnson, and here's what he had to say.
I'm coming to you today to talk about the school closing. Rahm Emanuel thinks that we all are toys. He thinks he can just come into our schools and move all our kids all the game lines and just say, oh, we can build right here. Let's take this school out. We don't care about these kids, but it's kids in there. They need safety. Rahm Emanuel is not caring about our schools. He's not caring about our safety. He only cares about his kids. He only cares about what he needs. He do not care about nobody else but himself.
There's some chance that kid beats him in the mayoral race.
He is.
I'd vote for him over Rahm.
He is incredible. And he was protesting. There are multiple videos of him protesting, demanding that, they fund public education, that they do not shut down these 53 schools. Now, of course, Rahm Emanuel, no one is going to credit this 9-year-old for what happened next, but news came out that 4 of the schools that were going to be shut down will not be shut down. So at least 4 of these schools will be saved. Yeah. One of those schools is actually a Sean school, and it's Marcus Garvey Elementary School.
Yeah. So now Rahm Emanuel will claim, no, I'm doing this for their benefit, right? Well, you got a funny way of showing it. Now, look, if you made everybody go to public school, you know how great the public schools would be? Because rich people's kids would be in public schools. And they wouldn't put up with bad schools, right? They'd pour a lot of resources in. They wouldn't be talking about no budget cuts, right? But rich people, generally speaking, in America have already taken their kids out of public school. Most of them have them in private school. So they think like, oh, the public school, that's such a drain on my tax resources. I'm already paying for the private school. Now I got to pay for this kid's education. I don't want to pay for it. People get greedy, right?
Yeah.
So now, in reality, closing those schools down isn't helping those kids, and taking more and more money out of the public school system isn't helping those kids. And it's a classic Rahm Emanuel move to throw a fig leaf on it. Oh, what? Am I not merciful? I saved 4 of the schools, coincidentally his school.
I'm only going to shut down 49 others.
Yeah, so I threw the other 49 under a bus. But hey, aren't I a lovely Democrat? No, you're not. And, in Daniel Kleinman's book about Obama's administration, Rahm Emanuel is a pivotal character. At one point, it appears that he works with the Republicans to kill one of Obama's proposals so he can gain more power internally at the White House against liberals. So you can turn around and say, you see that? The liberals don't know anything. You should just side with me. My big trick, he's a one-trick pony. His one big trick, Rahm Emanuel, is always side with the Republicans. Because the Democrats, since you call yourself a Democrat, vote against you anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So you just sell out to the Republicans and you get more votes. because he doesn't give a damn about the policy. He doesn't give a damn about the schools. He doesn't give a damn about that kid. All he cares about is, did I win? Did I win? I won. Where's my donations? Where's my donors? Where's my lobbyist friends, right? That's Rahm Emanuel.
And that case perfectly illustrates how, you can go and vote for Democrat or Republican, you can be partisan, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The system is so corrupt, whether it's through corporate money or through politics itself, like how to win, how to make sure that you get reelected, all of that stuff, that it doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
That's why people are so excited about third parties. I mean, that's why young people love it. I mean, libertarians, of course, are in the lead when it comes to a third party option, but then, that third party has its issues as well, so.
Yeah. Look, one last just random side note as we end this story. One, I think Rahm Emanuel is doing such a crap job in Chicago and is so obvious and brazen about it that there's some chance he loses the next mayoral race. Like, if you tell people in Washington, like, you're crazy, Rahm Emanuel is the most brilliant tactician there is, he's going to be mayor for life if he wants that job. They said that before he even got elected the first time. They've been saying it ever since. But that guy actually sucks at politics, and his one big trick is keep agreeing with Republicans. But if most of the voters in your city are not Republicans, and Chicago is a progressive city overall, that might be a dumbass trick.